Hello, everybody, ladies and gents. Hello, welcome to, well, not the BBC's Views for a Change. This is, that sun's annoying me. I don't normally stream at 20 to 3 in the afternoon. There you go. It's California. What can you do? I will say, one of the good things about living here is that when you come back from an island fucking paradise, it's not really that much different, other than it's as sunny as a bastard. Right, there we go. It's off me. Sorted. How's everyone doing? Always bloody late. Yes, you know how it works. Gavin, Mark, Origami Pig, Bobcat. Hello, everyone who I've missed. I couldn't miss an opportunity to have a laugh at Jussie Smollett. What a fucking twat. I'll take a lot of satisfaction from it, because I think you all remember that when it actually happened, I made several videos about it. Probably within 3 days of it coming out, because of all of the many examples of absurd, laughable, fake crimes that have been reported over the last few decades by attention-seeking celebrities. Of them all, I think this was the fucking daftest. Like, you could be a mentally deficient 8-year-old could see within about 10 minutes that this story was total bollocks. There was no aspect of it that made any sense. Right from the very beginning, like, who the fuck goes out at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was? It was like 2 a.m. in the snow during like a polar vortex or something they called it. It was like a particularly inclement weather event, and apparently he was out on his own as well. I could understand if you're out on the piss with your mates, but it was like a fucking Tuesday night. He was by himself, and he wanted us to believe that he got the Subway for a tasty meal. Fucking Subway. Like, I mean, I'm a tight bastard. Let me see if I can just close this blind a bit more. No, it's fucking dog shit. Yeah. I mean, I'm a tight bastard, and even I wouldn't go to Subway just to fill up my fucking loyalty card at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night. You know what I mean? Stick some microchips in, Jussie. So it's funny. Apologise for the slightly rapey vibe coming from the thumbnail as well, but I wasn't going to redraw a cartoon just for winging it. He said he was innocent leaving the court. Oh yeah, I suppose I'll try and find that, because we have to watch it, don't we? I said it was going to be a laugh at Jussie LiveStream. We have to actually laugh at him. Now let me have a look if I can just find. So I've obviously got this one that popped straight up when I googled it. There is something on here that's from Fox as well. Hopefully there'll be some footage of him kicking off in the middle of prison. Yeah, here it is. Have a look.
Got sentenced for.
Right, here we go. Silly bastard. Again, it's not the crime that annoys me so much. It honestly is that, like I've talked about before, you know, if someone tells you a lie, and at least it's a half decent, half believable lie, it's not as offensive as somebody pulling your pisser to such an extent where you feel as if they're insulting your intelligence. Do you know what I mean? You tell me a believable lie, it's not the end of the world. Now, catching, oh yeah, sorry mate, I shouldn't have lied. That's all right. But when you lie to me in such a blatant manner, I get fucking angry. It's because it's insulting. It's like, you think I'm an absolute moron. And for Jussie Smollett to think he could get away with this, you're insulting my intelligence, Jussie. And that's why I hope you don't have a very nice time in the county prison. I'll also look up that New York Post story, because it was hilarious that the sort of presented it as a real estate piece. But yeah, let's just watch him spitting his dummy out. He did massively flash, which I thought was funny. It could only have been a funnier story if it was like when somebody loses the rag in the military. It happens, you know, when you're all sleep deprived and you're in the field and someone will lose the rag for no reason. And the standard response is, all right, don't flash, mate. I would love it if the judge just went, fucking hell, don't flash, fella. Because it was just quality, the way he responded. And you know why? Because he must have assumed, he's like, I'm ticking all them boxes on the identity pyramid. I'm gay, I'm black, I'm rich and famous, and I'm woke, openly and aggressively woke. Surely they're not going to send me to prison. Surely. So with that arrogance, he was convinced he was going to get a slap on the wrist. And instead, he ends up in the slammer. So you can see why he fucking lost his rag, can't you? Let's have a listen. Why is it not fucking... Yeah, I'm on the wrong page, that's why.
Former Empire actor Jussie Smollett to 150 days in the Cook County Jail, part of a sentence for faking a hate crime back in 2019. After being scolded by the judge for more than a half hour, Smollett fired back, still maintaining his innocence.
I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
You know what's funny about this as well? Look at the look at the face. I don't know if that's his lawyer or whoever it is, but you see the baldy black dude in the bottom corner there. Looks a bit like the fella off fucking Predator who shaves and goes, snaps the razor on his face, doesn't he? Look at his face there. Can you see him? That guy there. He's just like, he's got that eye roll, like, for fuck's sake, he's playing the race card again. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's proper. It's cringe. Every single black person in the world who isn't cringing, woke, pathetic. Because, I mean, I've talked about this loads of times, right? This is why people, the centrists and the centre-right, and again, most modern right-wing conservatives in America, racism's done and dusted for the vast, vast, vast majority of people in the world. Anyone who's ever read a fucking long book. Because the old left-right paradigms disappeared. You can see that by the response to Ukraine, Russia. I've seen a funny ass comic about it today, a Stone Toss one, where there's the bloke doing the tug of war. And he goes, because he looks, and on his side, there's like a communist guy, there's like a white nationalist guy, and then he goes, looks across the other side of the rope, it's like Ukraine flag, and it's like LGBT, fucking, the world's gone crazy, the EU. It's like, the old left-right paradigm is dead. This is what I've said many, many, many times for the last few years. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. You've basically got the woke and everybody else. And they're on a planet of the fucking own. They're on the wibbly, they're in a wibbly wobbly world of their own, the woke. They're all complete maniacs. And right-wing American conservatives love people like Ben Carson or Candace Owens or fucking Zuby or any of the numerous people that are Republicans or Trump voters or old right-wing conservative types, economic conservative types like Thomas Sewell. The old paradigms are gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And every black person who isn't a woke, cringing, again, I've talked about that loads of times, about the stereotype. Like when you feel as if you're the victim of a stereotype, you don't ever want to be a stereotype. So when they used to say like, oh yeah, bootlegs are all thugs or hooligans, and you'd be banned from some fucking bars in like Plymouth where you've never even been in before. It used to hurt your feelings, and you felt like you were being judged for something that you hadn't done. So you'd always try to be on your best behavior when you went in, because you don't want to be a living stereotype. And the face on that baldy fella there is just the face of every single normal, rational black person that happens to be black, who doesn't want to be a fucking victim. Because it's, I mean, seriously, if I was a black man, I would absolutely hate it. I'd never whinge about historic events, because I as a working class person, I hate it. as a poor working class British person from a class-based society, I always hated looking like a victim. I'm not a victim, and I never ever allow myself to be a victim. And I was raised in a poor town in one of the worst places in the fucking country, and I hated it. I would hate anybody to think I was a victim. I'd rather fucking rip my own heart out of my chest and eat the fucking thing than appear as a cringing, pathetic victim. And I do, because I don't play identity politics, I do most people the credit of not seeing them as a victim. I think most people they hate to have pity, especially men. Men are proud. You hate for people to look at you and think, oh, I should pity that person. And that to me is the face that bloke's pulling there. He's like, fuck me. You can tell he's cringing. He is cringing there going, please, Jussie, shut the fuck up. Just once. Please. Look at his face. Just look at the guy there. You can see him rolling his fucking eyes.
And I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I
Look at
am
him.
not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
Smollett also got 30 months of probation. A jury convicted Smollett of hiring two men to beat him up in a staged anti-gay attack. The judge said no sentence he could give Smollett would do as much damage as the disgraced actor has already done to himself.
Well, that's
Guys,
what.
100 years. And
So, yeah, that's fucking brilliant. Just totally had a meltdown. Look at him. He's proper spat his dummy out there because he just didn't see it coming, did he? He thought he was going to get fucking squared away, looked after. And then he knew he had to remake, he had to gob off about, it's against the black community, it's against the LGBT community. It's like, nobody cares about your boxes, mate. The only people who care are the woke, and the woke are fucking idiots. And slowly but surely, it's dawning on everybody. Everybody. I mean, see, yeah, that's like embarrassed. I think most normal working class people that happen to be black fucking cringe when they hear this shit because nobody wants to be pitied. They just don't. It's like, oh, it's embarrassing, especially if you're a proud man and you want to stand on your own 2 feet. It's fucking cringe, and that's just what that guy's face said to me. Just screamed to me like someone should put him in a fucking meme because the guy's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. There he's like, oh no, Jussie's been a twat again. So yeah, brilliant. Also, so to talk about another story related to this fucking clown show. We've got the story on Deadline. Chicago's top prosecutor, State Attorney Kim Foxx. I mean, again, the issue that the woke always, the reason that they can never win an argument, which is obviously why they have to cancel people because they know they can't win an argument. The reason they can never win an argument is because humans haven't got a fucking 20-second memory. And the woke always act as if everybody that they're discussing this with has got a fucking 3 brain cells. And we all forget events that take place just a couple of weeks prior to what we're talking about. And that's why they can't win an argument. Because everything they say, when the rubber hits the road, everything they say crashes into the brick wall. Yeah, it cannot cross the unleapable chasm of reality. And every time they come up against this same issue, because everything they say is contradicted by reality, because reality doesn't care about your bollocks, fictional, insane narrative. The reality is, in America, people get prosecuted for crimes every day. And when you want to make lofty, deranged claims about kangaroo prosecutions, all we have to do is go back into the records and look at what's happened to people that have done similar things. I mean, job done. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to rack my brain and come up with some highly advanced piece of logistical, moral fucking genius to somehow bend square pegs through round holes and explain how this happened to make my case. And my case is Jussie Smollett's a twat and he deserves it. All I have to do is go, oh yeah, well, let's just go on Google and look at some people who've done similar things and then see what happens to them. It's not like America's not a country with over 300 million people in, and plenty of them are fucking maniacs who do mad shit all the time, and we can't just easily go back and have a look at it. So we're done, aren't we? Kim Fox can have as many letters behind a name as she fucking wants, and she can get the mainstream media in Silicon Valley to talk as much bollocks as they like. You can't bend reality to your whims, communists. And no matter how you spin it, he's a fucking dickhead. Yeah, he is a primo wanker of the highest order. Wanker Smollett. Absolute twat. And it doesn't matter what you say, because most of the human race floats around the centre. And people that float around the centre just look at the world around them, the real world, not a fictional one, and look at both sides of every argument and try and come up to a logical conclusion. And that is why you can't win an argument. And that's why you have to silence people. And that's why you have to ban and throw people off your fucking campuses. And that's why you have to tell Richard Dawkins that he's not allowed to talk. Because when he says things like biology exists, you go, whoa, fucking hell, you can't say that. Because you haven't got an argument. So that's why you don't like having them. Anyway, a bit of a rant. Chicago's top prosecutor, Kim Fox, fucking idiot, says the justice system failed Jussie Smollett, who was sentenced to 150 days in jail. Justice system failed him. No, the justice system failed fucking Rodney King when there was a video of 5 coppers twatting him for fucking 5 minutes. And they went, slipped. Right? Yeah, the justice system failed them. But every man and his dog knows Jussie Smollett is fucking guilty. He's as guilty as sin. Remember on Blackadder when he goes, oh yes, the case of the bloody knife. It's like, he was found standing above the victim, covered in blood, holding the bloody knife, and seen by 200 witnesses. And when the police arrived, he said, I killed the bastard. The case of the bloody knife. This is worse than the case of the bloody knife. There's no evidence at all that suggests he didn't fucking do it. The 2 people that committed the hate crime both came out and said he paid us. And both of them were Nigerian, not hillbillies. And they even had the shop they bought the like MAGA hats and the noose from. And they gave them the receipts. And they had the paper trail from him paying them. It was, and the police stood 1,000 man hours and found nobody else on the street other than the 2 Nigerian blokes that told the police that Jussie Smollett paid them and showed them the receipts and showed them the photos and showed them the text messages and showed them the notes and the plan that hatched. It is as nailed on as Alec Baldwin shooting that woman in the face. But the difference is Alec Baldwin hasn't been daft enough to go, it wasn't fucking me. Right? Although he did say the gun fired itself, which is a fucking new one. But anyway, the fucking case of the bloody knife. Writing in the Chicago Sun-Times, Fox, who was heavily criticised for perceptions that she went easy on Smollett. Yeah. She said it amounted to mob justice and a politically motivated kangaroo prosecution. Smollett's sentencing and fine came as a result of a special prosecutor reigniting the case after outcries at the light penalties faced for his disproven claims. She's defending him because she's defending her. That's what Fox is doing. Everybody knows Fox is crooked. She should be jailed as well. Kim Fox should not only be fired, she should be prosecuted. Because she had a personal... The amount of rules she broke... Again, people like Viva Fry can do a better job of it than me. But, like I said, with my relatively small amount of experience, i.e. military intelligence and reading a shitload of crime novels, I'm well aware that Miss Fox broke numerous laws. You have to divulge. Think again, we all know this. Even if you just pay attention and watch a lot of courtroom TV, you know this. Anything that could colour a case has to be declared outright. If a juror, I mean, this came up relatively recently with Derek Chauvin's trial, because if a juror is found to have had anywhere their perceptions coloured and they didn't declare that to the judge, it can be declared a mistrial. So when those pictures came up from one of the jurors at a Black Lives Matter rally with a hat on doing that shit, then his defenders were quite right to say, well, then we can move for a mistrial because he didn't declare that he had ulterior, he had pre-existing notions about the case. You can get a mistrial if that happens. It's the same if you have any links to somebody. If you were on a jury and they wheel out the fucking bloke who's up for murder and it turns out he's shagging your sister, funny old thing, you have to tell them before the trial starts. So Kim Foxx, being a personal friend of Jussie Smollett, with the text messages saying, oh, he'll be all right, I'll look after my man Jesse. These silly cunts, that Fox should be in the neck herself for perjury, for failing to declare. It's against the law, and it's against the law for a logical reason. So that's why Kim Foxx is doubling down. She knows that he's as guilty as fucking sin. He's as guilty as a particularly rapey Catholic priest getting caught conker deep in a choir boy's ring piece. There is no fucking chance that Fox and Smollett both aren't guilty of perjury, of telling lies, of failing to declare their interests. It says his fine came as a result of a special prosecutor reigniting the case, and Fox defended her decision. It said, it pains me deeply to say that our justice system failed. You fucking slut. Former Cook County Judge Jan Carlot said Fox's commentary amounts to an attempt to divert any discussion as to why her office acted in the manner that they did. Yeah, which is what I've just said. That's a nice succinct version. Bootneck's not very good at succinct. The reason she's saying that is because she fucked up. And she knows she fucked up. The only lack of justice is the fact that that silly cunt is still employed. Because I wouldn't trust Kim Foxx to work in fucking Burger King. That's that. And like I said, you can look at any new... I just Googled. All I Googled was... just typed in Google, famous cases lie to authorities. And they just pile up. There's loads of good ones. This one I do actually remember from watching it on 2020 with my missus. Let me have a look. Ex-boyfriend. Has anyone heard of the Sherry Papini case? Abduction hoax. So this was quite a famous one over here in the States. She basically lied and said that she'd been fucking kidnapped and then ditched somewhere, and she hadn't been. So this type of shit is a big deal, and you can just go and look to how much of a meal is made of it in the press. And she's just been released from Sacramento County Jail on $120,000 bond. You can look at these stories and you can see what happens to people, and they throw the book at them. You get jailed, often for a lengthy amount of time, if you get caught lying to the authorities like this. So the idea that he's got stitched up because he happens to be black and gay, when everybody knows in 2022, with this overcorrections happened and you actually get treated with kid gloves rather than the opposite, is obvious to anyone who can, well, like I said, who can do a Google search. You don't have to be a legal genius. You don't have to be a legal. You just have to have a memory retention span greater than that of your average aquatic fucking sea creature. Like, these are famous cases. It says Papini's fake abduction cost the public more than $230,000. Oh, yeah, well, that's chump change, isn't it? They're having a go at her because it cost the public more than $230,000. That shows you why this is bollocks. Because it cost the public more than that to look after to look for Jussie Smollett's attackers, right? So if you have eyes to see and the ears to fucking hear, you can very quickly and easily go on the internet, go on Tinternet, and you can find dozens of stories of shitbag people who faked crimes or made false statements. And they said she's looking at 5 years in jail. She'll get more than 150 fucking days. I guarantee you that. There's loads of them. There's another good one. there was a woman, it was covered relatively recently out here, a woman who was, they got pulled over by the police. This is fucking criminal genius, by the way. There's a woman who got pulled over by the Rozzers because they were speeding on the highway. And I don't know whether she'd seen it in a fucking film, because I'd have never thought of it. And I think I'm quite a sneaky bastard. But basically got pulled over by the Rozzers. And then when the police were like behind them, you know how it works. In America, it's a bit different in the UK, but they pull up behind you and you're expected to basically pull in, sort of turn your car off, and then wind your windows down and put your hands on the steering wheel, because the bobbies out here are worried about firearms. It's not like in England where you just jump out the car and fucking jog over and go, all right, lads, I've only had 1 point, honest, right? You have to sit with your hands on the wheel. And when that was going on, the husband was driving. She rang the bobbies off a mobile phone and went, oh, I've just heard gunshots in the hotel. And she named the hotel just down the street. And the bobbies fucking rag the tits off it and just wave them off and just drive off, because they know that the bobbies have been trained that you have to, you know, prioritize when there's a shooting. So they were going to get a speeding ticket, and they thought they got out of it by ringing in a fucking shooting at the hotel. Obviously, the coppers went to the hotel, quickly realised that there was no shooting, it was fiction, and then chased it up by using the phone records, and they've just arrested her. And she'll go to fucking jail, because it's a big deal lying to the police. Funny old fucking thing. The idea that Fox and Smollett, the shitbag's attorney, are coming out with, oh yeah, he's being badly treated because he's black. Everybody knows it's a fucking fiction. If it wasn't a fiction, why in the last sort of 5 or 6 years is everybody lying, trying to be black or gay? Like, everybody wants to be black now. Talcum X is a good example. Sean King. I mean, you all know who Sean King is, don't you? Surely. Is there anybody who watches The Angry Bootleg who doesn't know who Sean King is? I mean, seriously. The bloke is... I have got more of a tan on my ball sack. Like, and The Angry Bootleg doesn't get his balls out in public very often. He's from Middlesbrough. I didn't even see the sun until I was fucking 30. I didn't see the sun until I went to Iraq. But this guy, there you go, where's his Wikipedia? Pull that up. He tells people he's black. Look at him. Look at him. Look at my forearm from being in Hawaii for a week. I've got a better tan on my fucking left testicle than this fucking guy's got. And he tells everybody he's black because it's worth something now. It's 2022. Right? Nobody's denying that in 1985, it was a bit shit being black in America, because there was a massive problem. It took years of fucking activism and loads of fucking cases like Rodney King that was shocking. Nobody denies that the black community didn't get stitched up in the past. But 2022 is not 1972. And in this day and age, we've overcorrected. Everybody knows it. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't have constant people pretending they were black. He hasn't even got black hair. He's got like brown hair. Seriously, he's lighter than me. Look, he's definitely got, maybe just the lighting. He's fucking, what is he, an albino Nigerian? It's fucking bollocks. And then what's the other one? The other one was Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal. Why is there all these famous fucking incidents if it's proper shit being black? Just think about it logically. Rachel Dolezal, let's have a good look at her, because she's fucking even worse. She's like a ginger. Yeah, look. Look at this one. Look at the picture of her. Freckly fucking Ginnock. There you go. Look at her. Seriously. Freckly Ginnock. Blonde. Strawberry blonde. So everybody knows. Everybody knows. If it wouldn't get me banned off YouTube, I would get one of my plums out. I'd just dangle my fucking conkers in front of the camera, bunch them up and dangle my fly's heads. Just if you grip the bottom and pull it tight, looks like a fly's head. I go, grip my fly's head on camera, and everyone will be like, oh yeah, the fly's head's got a slight tan on it. It's got Sean King beat, 100%. So that's just yet more evidence, right? We can talk all day about it. I can show you all of the court cases where people have lied to the police and been sent to prison. I can do that. I can show you the famous Shasta County woman who lied about it, or that last fucking bird who's pretended she was kidnapped. These people are all getting jailed for longer than 150 days, and they're paying bigger fines than Sean King. And then you've got people like Dolezal there, who's about as fucking pale as the inside of a bounty. And apparently she's black. And Sean King is blatantly white. Both of his parents are white. But he lied and said, no, my mum was shagging a Nigerian, honest. And how many more examples do you need me to give you? What's this? Race deconstructed. Fucking, how bad, CNN? Look, you malinger on the CNN website, you get this shit. Sign up to learn about race in America and the role it plays in culture and politics. Race deconstructed. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, no fucking thanks. What about suck my... Oh, no, you can see all my email addresses there. I'm going to put suckmyplums@hotmail.com. But yeah, I don't care, CNN. And nobody with any sense cares. And fucking Dolezal doesn't care. And Sean fucking King doesn't care. And Kim Fox don't care. None of these people care about reality, because the reality of the fact is black people were stitched up by the justice system in the 1970s and 80s and early 90s. And then we've spent 10, 15 years going on about it, as we should have done, rightly so. And it's resulted in an overcorrection. And now in 2022, you are better off being black or female or gay or practitioner, regular at Allen's famous snack bar, anything on the pyramid, anything on the victim pyramid. That's what you're better off being. The judge knows it. The jury knows it. The general public knows it. Everybody knows it. You know who gets fucked in court nowadays? Cunts that look like me. Cunts that look like me. In fact, maybe I should do that. If I ever end up in court, I'll just dangle one of my testicles over the top of the box, draw a little face on it, and draw a little face on it with a smiley pen. Like, get a little mini comb out and comb my pubes up, and it's like a centre parting. And just dangle my knacker over the top and go, yes, Your Honour. Like, try and do some ventriloquism. Maybe my left testicle will get treated better, more fairly in court. Because if you're a pasty, blue-haired bastard like me, you blue-eyed bastard like me, you don't get looked after in court. You get looked after in court if you're a gay, lesbian, roller, disabled, pierced, blue hair, morbidly obese, walkist, fucking scissor thing. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. So, yeah, stop talking bollocks, Jussie. You got off lightly. 150 days, mate. If that was me, if I'd done the same thing, I'd have got like 4 years. You know what I mean? I'd have got rogered senseless by the judge on CNN and then 4 years in the clink. In fact, they'd have all been lining up, the judge and the jury, they'd been on like on airplane where they're all lining up with the boxing gloves and the fucking broom shanks and that. They've all been lining up to rape me with various articles, and then they've got 4 years. 4 years breaking rocks in a maximum security prison. Jussie Smollett's going to do 120 days in some fucking middle-class arsehole fucking thing. And he won't even be doing license plates, will he? Because that's work. So we all know this. I know it, you know it, Jussie knows it, everybody. He's complained about racism in jail already, has he? Has he? I didn't see that coming. Fucking all he has done. So bollocks. And that's that. Don't really need to say anything else, do I? I think I'll call it a day, because just come back off my elders, and I've been pissed for a week and I don't feel like my brain's working as well as it should be. Bollocks late again. Yes, Kirky Valley. It's early here. So yeah, I might do something tomorrow if I can be arsed. I need to slowly, gradually ease myself back into it, sober up and get on my fucking rowing machine again, sweat out the last week's worth of booze. But I've had a good time. It was sound. I'm back. I'll start making content again as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. That's it. Fucking do one. I'll see you all tomorrow or Monday. Yeah, whatever. Cheers, Blue Van Man. I'll see you in a couple of months, mate. Trip's on. I'm going back to the UK in May. I'll send in May. So yeah, we'll do that. And I might meet some of you fucking knobheads for a pint or something. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. Take it easy.